Everyone. I'm very, very happy to be here. First of all, since I know I have some Navajo relatives, Che Tachining Shlin, Anathana Bashichin, Sinajani Dashache, Anathana Dashanella. I am an enrolled member of the Navajo Nation, but on my father's side, I am Ogallala, Lakota, and Salish and Kootenai as well. Wow. And I'm here because I want to share a personal story with all of you about my experience with healthcare in our country. First of all, I want to say that I support President Obama and I support his efforts on healthcare reform. I support the president and this work because it's about making a change from the status quo. I recently joined Facebook, and I'm sure many of you are all on Facebook as well. And I made that statement on a friend's Facebook posting, and I couldn't believe the response that I got. First, I was told that I was an ignorant native. And then, I was told that I was a socialist gun grabber.
You got the wrong friends!
The first thing when I thought of was, well, it's a good thing I'm an ignorant native because I really don't know what that means. That's my res girl in me. So, you know, about 4 years ago, I admittedly was tolerable of the status quo. But 4 years ago, my life and the life of my family changed dramatically. On May 5th, 2005, I was 7 months pregnant, and I was receiving my prenatal care from the Indian Health Services, one of the clinics here in New Mexico. And that day, I had to have an emergency C-section. And I gave birth to my second son, Gavin, and I was told immediately after giving birth, my husband and I were told that Gavin wasn't going to make it through the night. And that if he did, he was going to be faced with many challenges and he would be severely handicapped. What had happened was during my pregnancy, I began losing my amniotic fluid. And although I had raised those concerns to my healthcare provider, I was told that there was nothing wrong with me and that I was just, overly concerned. They were the experts and to let them, tell me what I needed for my care. The next 2.5 years, both my husband and I learned more about healthcare than we ever imagined in our lives. We learned all this as we saw our son fight valiantly for his life. We learned about IHS, the problems of IHS. We learned about state services. We learned about insurance. We learned about Medicaid. We learned about the different levels of quality healthcare. And we learned so much more than that as well. One of the things I learned is that, and it's something that I've heard growing up, is that IHS, Indian Healthcare Service, as Catherine talked about, which was a promise made to Native Americans in exchange for many things, is that it's severely underfunded. It has never been fully funded. And it is a system that many thousands, hundreds of thousands of people rely on because it's the only system available to them in rural areas of our country. And this underfunding has created a culture among healthcare professionals, a culture that cutting corners is not only okay, but it's mandatory. When I had my concern about my pregnancy, I was told, you're only allowed 1 ultrasound per pregnancy if you come to IHS. And I was told that they were the experts, not me, and that I needed to stop bothering the busy doctors with my requests. They were right, I wasn't an expert. But now, after that experience, at times that I felt ashamed for not following my gut, I've learned to speak out. And I vow not to do that again.